thought we'd see someone come flying down on a Yunkasaur as soon as we came out.
A messenger from the Scions of the Canopy wouldn't be flying here. They usually come climbing down the cliffs nearby. No need to look. There isn't anyone on the cliffs.
I just saw a ghost. Hey, you there! Sorry, but does Tlisoli live around here?
Oh, are you the one who's supposed to deliver the ingredients?
Ingredients? Are you kidding? I was nearly eaten myself! Never mind that now. Those monsters are still hot on my heels. Please, you've got to help me!
Xilonen, where'd she go? Whoa, she's already gone up to fight the monsters? Let's go help her out! Hey! Allow me! Incinerate!
Letting grave names echo!
Rest and rebuild!
Hear the echoes of the valley! Alright, that should be it for the monsters. Yeah, it was easier than I thought. Oh, it also seems we're in good luck. The goods weren't damaged either.
Strange, we didn't see any monsters on the way here.
Yeah, right. I use this road to deliver goods all the time, and I've never been attacked like this before. It's the main road in and out of the tribe, so people often come here to clear out any monsters. This area is usually very safe. I don't know what happened, but it seems like all the monsters around here have gone berserk. Even the docile Tepetlosaurs are in a frenzy. Tlisoli doesn't even forge ancient names anymore, so why can't she just move back to the tribe? If she comes back, Nachka will even be able to find some playmates. She's so young and hasn't even... Nachka's playmates. No, wait, I feel like my kids have played with her before. They've even told me about Nachka's favorite game. If I remember right, it was... strange. I always remembered it before. How could I forget all of a sudden?
Look at that! He has a Blaze Gem inscription too!
You should go back to the tribe. It seems like you had quite the scare today. We'll take the ingredients back for you. I'll carry these bags, and you two can carry the rest.
If you say so. Thank you so much. I guess today's just a really bad day for me to go outside.
That's so weird. Why is everyone we run into today having trouble remembering stuff? Heimat's not sure how to say it, but she's got a strange feeling about this. Like it's all somehow related.
Once you live long enough, you'll eventually start experiencing strange days like this. Let's bring the ingredients back. Otherwise, we won't have anything to eat tonight.
Let's ride!
Ah, you're finally back. What took you so long? I was starting to worry.
Oh yeah, we ran into some small problems, but everything's fine now.
Alright, as long as everything's okay now. You all have a seat. I'll get the food ready. It won't take long.
Whoa, there's so much tasty food! You're amazing, Tlasoli!
They were all pretty simple dishes to make. Don't be shy. Dig in, everyone.
Paimon will help herself. Paimon will have some of this, and this. Oh, and this!
Ooh, yeah. Can I get another serving, please?
You're done already? Do you even chew when you're eating?
Of course! Didn't I say that I chew up the fish bones? I'll have just one more fish and leave the rest for Nechka.
It's okay. Just go ahead and eat all you'd like. Nechka can't eat these dishes anyway. Her body is too weak to digest these kinds of things. I'll just make some broth for her.
Oh no, but Paimon thought she'd already recovered from her illness.
Injuries caused by the abyss cannot be undone. The doctor said the fact that she's stable is already quite a miracle. But it's okay. Nechka can talk to me now and can even hold my hand. That's more than I could ask for. Even if she will never again know that I am her mother.
What do you mean?
The doctor said the abyss has had an irreversible effect on Nechka's soul. She's lost all her memories from before she was injured. The doctor also said this sort of memory loss isn't like simply forgetting something. Rather, she can no longer remember anything from before that fateful day.
Huh? But how does that happen?
You know about the woven scrolls that the Masters of the Night Wind use to record things, right? Well, generally speaking, forgetting things is like when the woven scrolls would gradually start to fade. As long as you repaint and weave the threads again, the faded memories will come back to life. But the case of Nechka's memory loss is as if her woven scroll had been cut in two, and the portion of the past was burnt to ashes. The books she loved to read, the flowers she took joy to grow, and the time she spent in this house were all cut off by the abyss, and can never be retrieved again. As one example of that, Nechka now only sees me as a strange, unfamiliar auntie who claims to be her mother. She's a good kid, and doesn't want to upset this lady who's been taking care of her so much, so she still calls me Mom. But I've always had a feeling that she's constantly wondering about things like, where is her real mother? Why is she stuck here in this house? Was she abandoned? Nechka really has no idea that her real mother is right in front of her, and has never left.
So you plan on recreating Nechka's woven scroll all by yourself?
What do you mean?
Or should I say, you've already started reweaving that scroll long ago? The delivery guys. I saw it hanging from his waist, so I asked to borrow it from him. Don't worry, I'll return the inscription to him once we've figured everything out. These things aren't cheap, after all.
When did you know?
Yeah, I noticed it back when blaze gem inscriptions suddenly became popular among the tribe. It was then that I also noticed that everyone wearing blaze gem inscriptions had varying degrees of memory loss. Traveler, you've picked up on it too, haven't you? Accessories made using ancient names forging techniques. For what's only supposed to be a pretty souvenir, this inscription contains a phlogiston engraving with a truly overkill level of complexity. The shapes and patterns of these engravings are also identical to that of an ancient name. By making just a few slight adjustments to the layout and connections of the main pattern, you can pretty much qualify this blaze gem inscription as a bona fide ancient name. And yet, you've never told anyone about these engravings and the blaze gem inscriptions that can be activated at any time. Am I right, Auntie?
I knew you were a sharp one, Xilonen. That's right. I have a way to cure Nechka and restore all her memories. It's actually quite simple. I want to forge an ancient name for Nechka that contains all of her past memories.
And the reason they must be approved by the Wyab is because the memories they bear are all stored within the ley lines. Extracting those memories from the ley lines requires the Wyab's assistance. But your plan wouldn't need you to do any of that, right, Auntie? Your blaze gem inscriptions will help you complete that part of your plan in the ley line's place. You will use the inscriptions to form a massive memory bank for Nechka. And the ancient names you're trying to forge will be used to extract corresponding memories from the memory bank.
A memory bank? Wait, so the reason all those people were having trouble remembering stuff is because the blaze gem inscriptions took away any memories related to Nechka?
Using other people's memories of Nechka to reconstruct her past? This is the first time I've heard of such an idea.
You've seen through my plans, Xilonen. You're as outstanding as ever. Far more brilliant than me. I intend to use this method to collate all the memories related to Nechka and allow her to regain her past again.
But wouldn't extracting memories like that hurt the person carrying the blaze gem inscription?
Not at all. Every time a blaze gem inscription extracts memories, the process is under my precise control. That way, there's no chance of anyone in the tribe getting hurt. This is the central inscription that controls all the other blaze gem inscriptions, which will also soon serve as Nechka's ancient name.
You made all of this yourself, Tlusoli?
Yes, it was lots and lots of work. It was truly exhausting. Or perhaps I've just grown old. You saw it yourself. I nearly fainted just from being in the sun. I could collapse tomorrow, or even in the next few moments, but Nechka's ancient name is still far from completion. I've solved the issue of storing memories, but I still don't know how to connect Nechka up to this central inscription.
I thought you'd just modify your own ancient name.
I considered it, but this matter doesn't have anything to do with my ancient name. It's of no help to me, and I don't need its help now.
You know the price to pay for making something like this.
Yes, I do. But as long as I can get my Nechka back, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Otherwise, Nechka won't have any chance of reclaiming her past once I'm dead and gone. She won't remember me, and she won't even remember why her name is Nechka. When that time comes, she will be left to drift around the world all alone, unknowing of where she came from or where she should go. She is my daughter, the one to whom I gave the Nechka name. Whether it be as her mother or as a name engraver, I can't simply stand by and let her name disappear.
Xilonen!
I'll take the central inscription with me. I'm going to completely disassemble it to confirm its components and uses, and I won't make any promises until I've checked everything. Say goodnight to Nechka for me, Auntie.
Oh, wait. I've also finished the inscriptions for the Traveler in Paimon. Let me fetch them for you. I'm sorry it took me so long to finish them.
Hold on, Auntie. The Traveler and Paimon have never met Nechka before, so you can't draw any memories from them.
That wasn't my intention. They're just ordinary gifts. Please, take them.
Huh? What was that noise?
Nechka must have woken up and wants to get out of bed on her own. Sorry, I'll go check on her first. Nechka, don't try to get out of bed. Just tell Mom if you need anything.
You go ahead and take care of Nechka, Auntie. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon. There are a few things I want to tell you. Let's head back to the tribe first. There are some things I need to get from my workshop. Disassembling the central inscription? It's not going to be easy. You two can wait outside for a moment. I just need to go in and grab something. The workshop is a little messy, so unfortunately, I won't be able to show you around. Oh, yeah, that's not really what I mean. It's not the mess that's really the problem. It's just that the workshop is cluttered with way too much stuff. Books, files, and even ancient texts I got from the Masters of the Nightwind. Everything's piled up to the ceiling. You probably won't know where to step once you're inside. Kachina suffered quite an unfortunate series of events the last time she went inside. Well, I suppose it was my fault for being so focused on searching for information at the time that I forgot to lock the door. After entering the workshop, she was shocked to find herself face to face with a massive woven scroll from the Masters of the Nightwind, and then she turned around and knocked over a huge stack of forging blueprints. She tried to step out of the way, but tripped on a poster tube that was behind her, and then, boom! The forging blueprints came crashing down right onto her head.
Oh no!
She's lucky I noticed in time. I found Kachina in a daze and managed to save her before an entire set of the history of the Children of Echoes was about to bury her. I then dragged her up to the second floor. Ever since then, Kachina always waits outside the door and doesn't dare take a step in whenever she comes to see me.
Yeah, you're an artisan and craftswoman after all. We thought there would be weapons and armor hanging all over the place. But it seems more like a library than a workshop.
Well, my primary work is forging ancient names, which is much trickier than making swords and tools. Aside from the necessary craftsmanship, I also need to consult many ancient texts. You probably already know that each ancient name represents a certain spirit, behind which are countless related stories to support it. In other words, the essence of an ancient name is the physical manifestation of a certain spiritual will. And as a name engraver, when I'm working on a new ancient name, I'm not only trying to give it a physical shape, but more importantly, I'm also trying to understand the spirit contained within the name. And to do that, I have to collect as many related stories as possible and read through them all. But, as you might know, people tend to add a lot of extraneous details when it comes to stories about themselves. For stories that have been clearly exaggerated or altered, I must gather other related stories and information as cross-references. This way, I can filter out all the absurd and exaggerated details and restore the person's life to its true nature. Only in true stories can you find the authentic spirit. And this is the only way for the spirit to become an ancient name that matches its essence.
We've heard about the concept behind ancient names before, but after hearing you explain the details, I can't help but think that ancient names are really powerful.
Well, no matter how powerful ancient names could be, they would never be able to suddenly turn into a blade or allow you to smash through an entire cliff in one punch. It's just a form of spiritual power that's passed down from generation to generation. It doesn't have those kinds of physically tangible effects. Well, take your own names, for example. From the moment you appeared in this world, some person had already prepared a blessing for you. And that person then condensed this blessing into your name and gave it to you as a gift. It may feel like the moment you received your name is already in the past, but it will always stay with you and move with you in the future. Names are blessings for the future from people standing in the past. Well, that's what Auntie once told me. And with this blessing, people will become more confident as they walk into their future. To put it another way, it's like having a lamp in your hand as you walk through the darkness of night.
If you're alone when you're walking in the dark, it's easy to get scared and tired quickly. But if someone else is walking with you, then it won't be nearly as scary. And, well, you might still get tired, but it'll still be a whole lot better than walking alone. The Traveler always has Paimon by her side, though, so she'll never have to worry about that. Oh, Paimon sure many wish they could be in your shoes, Traveler. Paimon's always flying, of course it gets tiring. But we're getting off topic, we can talk about that later.
Anyway, this is what Clisoli told me when I was training as a name engraver. And to be honest, I've only understood 20% of what she said at most. I've never been able to figure out the rest.
But doesn't that mean you basically don't get it?
Well, that's not entirely true. Auntie and I have at least come to a consensus on the most important thing. You know what? I am sick of talking. We can talk about all of this later. Please, wait a moment while I grab my things.
Did you hear a whole section of something collapse in there just now?
It's fine, it's fine. It was just a bunch of very old ancient name records. I've already made copies of them. I, kept this set of phlogiston wedges in the back, so it wasn't easy to take out. I had to resort to brute force. Come on, let's go disassemble the central inscription. It shouldn't take long.
Let's ride!
Here we are. This is the place.
This cliff is pretty high. What are we going to do here? Are we going to climb to the very top and then throw this inscription down the cliff?
I'm going to use phlogiston to make an engraving circle on the cliff wall. That will allow me to investigate the internals of the central inscription. Now let me see if this thing can even turn on. I was still an apprentice last time I used it. Before we attempt to engrave the inside pattern of an ancient name with phlogiston, we always use this to draw out the engraving diagram on a cliff or open ground. Only after we've confirmed that phlogiston can flow properly through the internal engravings can we start formally working on the small internal engravings of the ancient name. If we want to dismantle the central inscription in a non-destructive manner, we'll have to use this thing. I really don't want to engrave such a large diagram with my bare hands.
Oh, so you'll be able to see what it looks like on the inside without ruining Tlasoli's inscription?
For the most part. If it were just an ordinary unfinished ancient name piece, I'd just take it apart and pour phlogiston into the internal engravings to see everything. But since it's a central inscription, it would be better not to destroy the blessing that Auntie has prepared for Nechka.
So, Xilonen, Does this central inscription fall under the 20% you understand about ancient names, or the other 80% you don't understand?
Oh, don't worry. As I said, Auntie and I share an understanding of the most important principle, which is names are intrinsically valuable. Only by having names can things be sorted and categorized. They allow the world to become more orderly and identifiable. For example, when I order ore, I would usually say I need volcanic crystals of about 35% purity and no more than 3% of impurities. Without specific names, I would only be able to go to the ore merchant and say, I want this and this. No, this isn't it. That one. No, not that one either. Yeah, you see what I mean? Names are a crucial part of how we standardize our workflow. Without names, the work would be impossible. Yes, because forging ancient names is first and foremost a technical job. There's no debating that. As for the question of why it's important, as long as it does not affect your ability to perform your work, you'll gradually understand it as you put the process into practice. After all, creating an ancient name is quite the complicated process. Well, let me break it down even further. We're not in the tribe right now anyway. Essentially, by forging ancient names, I'm assigning nicknames to the heroes in Natlan's history. Giving someone a name is a subjective expression. You just need to express your hopes and wishes for them. But giving someone a nickname is a much more objective expression. To come up with a fitting and accurate nickname requires much thought and observation. If ancient names or nicknames aren't descriptive enough, no one will remember them anyway. So the best I can do is gather all the information I could and try to come up with the most fitting nicknames possible. Even a minor mistake in the process could cause people to misunderstand the nickname. For a name engraver such as myself, such mistakes would be considered a major blunder.
Paimon isn't trying to come up with a nickname for Xilonen. Besides, all of Paimon's nicknames have been very descriptive. Everyone can remember them.
Phew. Now I'm curious. Why don't you, come up with one for me?
Are you serious?
Of course. This is also my line of work, you know. Go ahead.
A nickname? Xilonen. Well, she uses phlogiston to forge weapons and make names for others.
Yeah, not bad, and quite fitting too. I'll remember it. But, you should keep observing my work, Paimon. Maybe you'll come up with an even better nickname. Right, okay, time to make like a smith and start smithing. Watch closely. Adjust the inclination by 2 degrees. The error margin is within an acceptable amount, but I'll extend the inscription link a little more just to be safe. I'll leave some space here. When the linked engravings are activated, the inscriptions here will overlap with each other. There! That should complete the flow.
Amazing, Xilonen! You were running all over that cliff as if it was flat ground!
Oh no, it doesn't have anything to do with my tribe. It's just the phlogiston adhesive I have on my shoes. But after all that running around, I'll have to infuse them with more phlogiston again. Huh. I should prepare a spare supply of phlogiston to bring with me next time. More or less, yeah. I usually have at least the key equipment on hand. I can show them to you when we next find the time, but let's get to work first. Let me see. Start with Anchor 1 and activate it with Density 3 phlogiston.
Whoa! A super huge diagram just appeared! Tlasoli's central inscription is even floating! So are you done checking the inscription, Xilonen? How does it look?
I didn't find any anomalies in the phlogiston engraving. All the adjustments are indeed based on ancient name engraving techniques.
That means we can help Tlasoli and Machka now, right?
Well, probably, but I have good news and bad news. Oh, but I'm also just going to go ahead and share both, so it's not like you'll have a choice in the matter.
Paimon will cover her ears after the good news.
Well, even if you cover your ears, the issue will still continue to exist. But, before we get to that, I want to ask the Traveler a question. What are your thoughts on absorbing memories? I knew you felt the same way, and that'll save me some initial explanation. I've never been very good at that anyway. It's hard to control the absorption of memories. Technically speaking, This type of inscription has the power to do far more than absorb memories related to a single person. By herself, Auntie can't handle that level and scope of work, but if she has accomplices, it is completely possible for her to use this inscription to accomplish far bigger things.
Accomplices? You make it sound like she's committing a crime!
Well, here's the good news. Yes, this blaze gem inscription would be the perfect tool to commit crimes, but we haven't found any accomplices or signs that she intends to put it to such uses. From a purely objective standpoint, we can consider that possibility as yet to be confirmed for now. The bad news is, there's still an underlying problem with this blaze gem inscription that cannot be ignored. I believe I've mentioned this before. Ancient names operate with the help of the Wyab, granting them the power to read information kept in the ley lines. In this process, the Wyab actually function like relays, helping the ancient name bearer sense the information from within the ley lines. If you remove the Wyab from the process and don't use any tools, then finding a specific story is akin to trying to scoop up a specific grain of sand from a rushing river. Yeah, exactly. Anyone who attempts to do so will likely lose most of their cognitive function or become a babbling madman who talks to themselves all day long. Now, let's consider the memories that Auntie has gathered as the ley line, and Nechka as the only ancient name bearer of this ley line. There's no way Auntie would let Nechka plunge into the river of memories without any tools. She'd only be overwhelmed by the surge of memories. And considering that Nechka has forgotten all of her past, she'll be unable to work on her own to accurately find the correct past. Only Aunt Felisoli can help her filter the correct memories of her past. So, if my hypothesis is correct, Auntie is actually planning on turning herself into Nechka's Wyab to help her extract the corresponding memories in the different situations she may face. In an ideal world, this would be perfectly fine. As long as every extracted memory is correct, Nechka would essentially be getting her past back. And I also believe that there won't be any mistakes in everything that Auntie remembers about Nechka. But Auntie is not a Wyab. Her body won't be able to handle the load for long. Names are blessings for the future from people standing in the past. I've also made up my mind. Come on, let's go see Auntie.